Well, hello and welcome back to our Etsy 101 series where we're covering the basics of selling on Etsy for those of you who may be just starting out with your Etsy business. In this series, we've previously discussed types of products that you can sell on Etsy, as well as Etsy seller fees and the different elements that make up an Etsy listing. Today, I'll be walking you through the different parts of your shop itself as a whole and showing you what it looks like from the buyer's perspective, as well as where you go to set up each of these elements as a seller in your shop manager. Let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So glad you're here. If this is our first time meeting, I'm Kate. I'm a wife, mom, Etsy seller, and business coach, and I'm here to help you start and scale your online business so that you can make a full-time income doing what you love. So like I said, we're right in the middle of our Etsy 101 series. If you missed any of those previous videos and you'd like to watch those, I'll have those linked in the description box below. But today we're talking all things Etsy shop as a whole. So we're talking not about specific listings, but your shop as a whole, what it looks like from the buyer's perspective, as well as how you go about setting up each of these parts from the seller's shop manager. So I'm excited to dive in, but before we do that, I want to let you know if you're new to Etsy selling, or maybe you already have an Etsy shop going and just haven't seen the consistent sales and growth that you've wanted in your shop, I have a 60-minute free masterclass that you can watch that walks you through my 5-pillar formula and the personal system that I've used in my own shop to bring it to 6 figures, and that I've coached hundreds of others to use who have found success in their shops as well. So I'll have that linked below, or you can go to etsymasterclass.com and watch that completely for free after you get done watching this video. Okay, so for our video today, we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite sign companies on Etsy. And I'm also going to be showing you this back end as a seller. This is your shop manager. So we're going to be looking at the settings part of your shop manager. But first, let's take a look at what a shop actually looks like from a shopper's perspective when they're looking at your shop page as a whole. So at the top here, you see we've got a banner image. This is the image that goes across the top of your shop page that you can upload for your banner, as well as an icon right here. This is your shop icon. So a lot of people use this to put their logo or an image with their shop name. Of course, we've got your actual shop name right here. And underneath is a little tagline for your shop. This is called your shop title. And this is just one line where you can say exactly what you sell to make it really clear to the shopper from the beginning what your shop is all about. Then of course, you've also got over here your name and your profile picture. So this is a great place to actually put a real picture of you so that they can make that personal connection with the shop owner right off the bat. If the seller is a star seller, you'll see that listed right up here. And then right underneath, we see where it says announcement. It'll tell us whatever the seller has typed in here for their shop announcement. This is a great place for you to put your link for any other shop, or even a link for people to sign up for your email list, as well as any of your social media handles or information about any kind of flash sales or discounts that you're currently offering. Whatever you want your shopper to know, this is a great place to put it up here in the announcement. So if we come over here to our seller shop manager, we come over to settings and you'll see some different options. We're going to click first on info and appearance. And this is what it looks like in your settings section. So this is where you're going to put that shop title. This is what we saw as the tagline right here. It's just one line that you'll want to put something very clear about what your shop offers. You can upload your shop icon here. You can also upload your order receipt banner. So this is the banner that'll go on your actual receipts if you're printing out packing slips. And you can also type out your shop announcement here. That's what we saw at the very top, as well as a message to buyers. And if you sell digital items, a message to buyers for the digital downloads page here. So this is just the message that'll be sent to your buyers automatically in their confirmation email once they make a purchase. Now, if we click over to shop name, this is where you can come. If you ever decide to change your shop name, you can do that here, but I wouldn't advise changing it very much, if at all, just because you want to work on that brand awareness. And if you're constantly changing your shop name, it doesn't help with that, but you can if you ever feel like you need a rebrand of your shop name. Now, coming back to the front-facing shop here, when we scroll down, the first thing we'll see here is a section called featured items. So this can look different depending on if the seller is using just the basic free standard Etsy plan, or if they've upgraded to Etsy Plus, which is a monthly subscription to have some extra customization options. But either way, the seller can choose featured items here at the top. So this is a section that you're going to use to put your best listings to really grab the attention of the buyer right off the bat with these featured items. items. And then of course, it'll show all items as you continue to scroll down. Now, as a seller, you may be wondering how you actually get certain listings listed under this featured items section. So to do that, you would come over here to listings, and under each listing, you'll see a little star. So if you have a certain listing star, that means it's going to show up in your featured listings section. Now, if we look over here on the shop page to the left, we can see where it says items, and these are the shop sections that this seller has created for the buyer to be able to navigate the shop more easily. So instead of just scrolling through all of the endless listings, you can actually come here if you know you want a specific thing. Like for this shop, I might know that I want a Christmas themed sign, so I can come to their Christmas section and filter it just by only the signs that are Christmas themed. So from the seller's perspective, if you're wanting to set up shop sections, you would do this in your listing area. When you're creating a new listing, you can see right here where it says section, you can see your shop sections and click to add a section to add a new one. Again, having really clear and easy to navigate shop sections just helps the buyer to really get to what they're looking for quicker on your page. Now, if you continue scrolling down on the shop page, underneath where the listings are, you'll see the reviews section. There's nothing you really need to do with this section as a seller, but this is where the reviews will pop up if your buyers do leave you feedback as reviews. And then if you continue scrolling down after that, you'll see the about section. So this is where the shop story is going to be, and you can click read more if you're looking at this as a shopper to see the complete story about the shop. You can see how many sales they have, when they opened up shop. And this is a great place as a seller to put a little bit more of a personal story to share your motivation behind what you do, why you opened your shop, what you hope to accomplish, or any shop mission or vision. This is a great place to make that more personal connection with your buyer. You'll also see the links down here if the seller has linked any of their social media. So let's take a look here at this from the seller's perspective. If we come back to settings and we click on about your shop, this is where you'll see the first page here says members. You can add a shop member, so you can put yourself as the owner and put a little bio here as well as a picture. And you could add as many shop members as you want. So if you click to add another member, you'll be able to select from the different roles or add your own custom role. If you have any team members that you want to show on your shop about section, that'll show under this story part. So you'll see here the shop members part. But if we go back and we click over from members to story, this is where you'll actually enter what's going to show up as your shop story in the about section. You can put a headline. You can also put a video and photos. So this one that we're looking at here actually doesn't have a video or photos, but if they had put in some photos, it would be showing here along with this story, and the photos will be scrolling through automatically almost as a slideshow, and you can actually put a caption with it as well. And then underneath we see the area to add shop links, so we can choose Facebook links, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. You can put as many links here for those different options as you want to lead people from your Etsy shop over to your social media or your Pinterest, whatever you want to lead them to from here. And then underneath the shop member section, you'll see the policies section. So this is really important to have all filled out in your shop are your shop policies, including shipping policies, payment options, returns and exchanges, cancellations. You want to make it as clear as possible for your buyer to know what your different options are when it comes to these things so that they feel extra safe and confident making the purchase from your shop. So when we look here at our shop manager, we need to click on settings again and come down to policy settings. This is where you can set all of your policies that'll show up there, including what we just mentioned, returns and exchanges, cancellations, privacy, and fixed policies. So creating policies may seem a little intimidating, but don't worry because Etsy makes it pretty easy to do this. If you just click here on create policy, you can actually just turn on and off for returns and exchanges. Either I accept them or I don't. You can just toggle that little button on or off. And then you can choose if you do accept then that the buyer must contact you within a certain amount of time. You can select what you want for that. And then you just click save and apply. And that easily creates a simple policy to show up there on your page for returns and exchanges. Same sort of thing with cancellations. You can click here for my shop doesn't accept them or click edit and change this by toggling it on or off to accept it and then select how many days you're going to give them to actually ask for that cancellation. Now you can come over to privacy, which your privacy policy just lets your buyers know how you'll protect their personal data. So you can create the policy here and you can either write out what you want for the privacy policy, but if you're not sure where to start with that, they actually provide you with a sample privacy policy that you can read and just customize a little bit for your shop to give you somewhere to start with that. And then if you come over to fixed policies, this is not a section that you need to edit, but it's a great thing for you to know that these are going to appear on your shop page and your listing pages as well. Etsy does this automatically with giving the buyer estimated delivery dates for your shipping based on on what you have put in your listings for your turnaround time, and then some information for customs and import taxes as well. Now, along with editing all of this in your shop manager here on the seller backend, you can also click Edit Shop from your shop page. It'll be a little button that says Edit Shop if you go to your forward-facing page, and that'll let you have some options as far as rearranging the featured items, rearranging the order of your listings, and give you several different options for editing straight from your shop. So now that we've gone through the shop page as a whole, I just want to make a couple notes for optimizing your shop as best you can to make it look really professional and established. You want to make sure that all of your branding goes together and is really cohesive. So this would include your banner photo, your shop icon, and any colors you're using in your photos. You want them all to really complement each other well and to look really cohesive. So as the buyer scrolls through, we can see that they're not all identical, but they all go together really well with the colors, the fonts, everything that's included in the branding. We also want to make sure to be updating our shop announcement on a regular basis. This can be an easy thing to forget about, and then before we know it, we have really outdated information here. So if you have anything listed as far as a sale that's going on or anything seasonal, you want to make sure to keep up with this announcement by updating this on a regular basis. You want your shop sections to be very clear, to be easy to read, and to be easily navigated. And you want to definitely make sure that this About section and your Policies section are completely filled out, not just for the sake of the buyer reading them, but also for the purpose of SEO. So search engine optimization is how Etsy's algorithm actually ranks your listings in front of shoppers. And just by simply having these two sections, the About section and the Policies section filled out, you get a boost in the search rankings. So this is definitely a top priority if you don't have these two sections filled out in your shop yet. You want to make that happen really soon for sure. That's an easy thing you can go ahead and do to boost your rankings. Well, I hope that was helpful for you in looking at the different elements that make up an Etsy shop as a whole from the buyer's perspective, as well as from your shop manager on the seller backend. Hopefully this will help you get started with setting up your shop and optimizing it for visibility. And don't forget, if you want to take a deeper dive into my 5-pillar Etsy success formula system that I use and coach my students on with the 5 pillars that have built my shop and brought it to the top 1%, then definitely click on the link below to watch my free 60-minute Etsy masterclass, or go to etsymasterclass.com to check that out. And if you haven't watched the previous videos in this Etsy 101 series, I have that playlist teed up here if you want to click over and watch the other videos in that playlist as well. It's just covering the basic foundational things you need to know as you're beginning your Etsy selling journey. Talk soon, friends.